Hola, everybody. Thank you for being here in my first webinar in English. So today we will talk about uh, top films that inspire by inventors for inventors. So there is some movies that tell the story of inventors or entrepreneurs that would be useful for inventors, entrepreneurs, businessmen, and we can learn a lot, um, some entrepreneurial skills that I would like to share with you. So first of all, let me share the screen. I have some presentation here. I think you have noticed that today link was down. Hopefully now LinkedIn is okay. So, let me see. Okay. Screen here. Sharing the desktop. Okay, I think I got it.
In both kids, it's hard. That's the regret.
Sorry. Video is running. Okay, so here we are. So today we will talk about top films inspired by inventors for inventors. So my name is David Hurtado. I'm the CEO of LicenciArte. We are a startup that support. Let me see. I think you are not seeing my screen. Okay. Start to sharing. I'll try to see now. Okay. Yeah, it was my mistake. Sorry. So give me a second, please. Man up. Start to sharing. Okay. Yes, I think I got it. Okay. Yes, got it. So, LicenciArte is a startup, whereas our mission is overclocking the inventions to innovations on LinkedIn. What it means that overclocking means that it's a concept from the computer science that you can increase the frequency of the clock of the processor in order to get fast the computer with the same components. So we would like to you get your invention faster to become an innovation. It means to enter to the market faster than ever. And we are doing that on LinkedIn. with the social media and social selling methodology. My name is David Hurtado. I am biomedical. My background is biomedical engineer, and I have a master in patent law. And also, I am in the ranking IAM Strategy 300. This is a ranking that award the best of the world leading IP strategy for companies or startups. And in this selected group of the IP practitioners. And I would like to talk about a little bit about our approach. We see the invention with three components: the engineering and the intellectual property. We believe that those components we need to work together, or we need to mature these components together in order to the inventions go to the market. So, shall we start? My top 5 movie is Extraordinary Measures. Extraordinary Measures is a movie that is based in a true story about, you can see, let me use my laser pointer. It's a true story based on in the book The Cure, and it's amazing. The movie is not so good, I can say that. It was released in 2010, but the story is amazing because this father that is represented by Brendan Fraser, he had 3 children, and 2 of them they got the Pompeo disease. Pompeo disease was orphan disease in that age, and the expected life of these children with this disease was no more than 10 years. So this father was desperate, and he was an higher executive in a publicity industry. He started to read some papers about a scientific professor in a university in US, and he contacted him in order to find the solution for the problem of uh, his children. I will show you the trailer, and after that I will tell you why this movie is important and which skills we can learn from them.
In both kids, it's the heart that's the real threat to their lives.
How much more time do we have?
Maybe a year, Patrick, less.
I wish that we had a drug to treat Pompeii, but we simply don't. I'm sorry.
Dr. Sonia? Yeah. This is Joel Primitive. All the researchers out there say that energy is not scientific. I'm not on the verge of anything. How much would it take to prove your theory?
The odds against you are crushed. Where does that leave your kids when the dad has no job and no health insurance?
You're right. This is crazy. But I can't just sit around and wait for my kids to die. I promise I'm going to raise 500.
That's all? Is it 500 or 1,000?
500,000.
Are you totally insane?
Apparently.
Was you worth that? That stone hill guy?
He's really what is that? Everybody else.
Do you have wife?
Next wives. 2 of them.
Yeah. How come?
It's so easy to get along. Figure any good in business that can help you raise venture capital to run the company. He's going to be half as motivated as the dad is trying to save his own kids. We push ourselves. We work around. Finally, work around the clock. Right? Cure diseases in theory, but never help a single human being in reality. Cure your kids, you know that. I think I can save their lives. Oh, if it's disease too, I don't know. You're in clinical trials by the end of the year before we pull the plug. Nobody is going to tell me how to run my lab. Bruce, are you crazy? You've jeopardized your chances of ever getting your kids treated. There's nobody's gonna pay that price. Stop chasing miracles. Don't get your hopes up, kid. Say Hail Mary. Just me.
Have to restrain him.
Well, only the one spoiler for the movie is the Mayan sign, as they call word. And happily, Brandon Fraser can help their children and also more children for the Pompe disease. I don't want to tell you more spoilers, but I think that we can learn from this movie, and I would like to start for a sentence that is, "Are you crazy?" That guy is the director of the company that acquired the startup that the professor Stonehill and Brendan Fraser, that I don't remember the name of the real guy, this one, they created. Let me tell you that I have heard a lot of times this word, "Are you crazy?" Yes, because if you are an inventor and if you are an entrepreneur, you need to be a little bit crazy to create things that other people believe that it is not possible. Yeah. So Brendan Fraser started to read a lot, and the only potential cure for the Pompe disease was from a professor, and this is a real story, from a university. I think it's Wisconsin University, but most of the time I am working with university professor. And the stereotype or the archetype of this brilliant science doctor is quite similar to the people that we are working in the university, with a bad mood, difficult to talk with him or her. So create this synergy with two different skills and two different persons, one from the science and one from the executive, in order to get the money for the capital venture, were a very good decision and very challenging decision, because in one time Brandon Fraser he decided to quit from his job. And one friend you saw in the trailer, if you quit, you will lose the health insurance for your children. So it's a big challenge that you are taking here. But he decided to find the cure by himself. He couldn't wait for more time, because the family, they hadn't more time. So they needed to find the cure by themselves. And in sometimes, please try to understand my assumption. Sometimes you need to go beyond the rules, not to infringe the rules, but go beyond the rules. Try to improve or to accelerate the process of the invention to innovation. So this is the learning that I would like to share with you. Please see the movie. It's not the best movie that you will see, but if you are an entrepreneur or an inventor, you will enjoy so much. For my top four, I will show you not a movie. This is a series from Netflix that is called The $1 Billion Code. The $1 Billion Code tells the story about two guys that found terabyte in 1994 and create, as they call, the Google Earth. And Google Earth in 2005, they say they steal the idea, the invention, and they supposedly infringe their patent in order to create Google Earth. So this is the story. Please, all the movies are fictions based on true stories. You can see the guys here, but you can learn a lot from this movie. So I will show you the trailer and we'll discuss later the ideas behind this movie or series. Sorry.
Wir haben eine der wichtigsten Erfindungen des Computerzeitalters gemacht.
In welchem Jahr war das?
1994.
Und wann hat Google Google Earth präsentiert?
2005.
Wie können TerraVision und Google Earth so absolut identisch sein?
Alles begann in den 90er Jahren in Berlin.
Ist das ein Algorithmus? Ja. Ich weiß, wie es geht.
Wenn ich in einer Sache wirklich gut war, dann am Programmieren.
Stell dir mal vor, man könnte jetzt aus dem Weltraum an jeden beliebigen Ort der Welt. Das ist eine Revolution.
Ihr Projekt gefällt uns.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Danke. Noch nie hat irgendjemand so etwas versucht.
Haben Sie ein Team, das so ein Projekt entwickeln könnte?
Ich bin dabei.
Alle wollten plötzlich über TerraVision berichten.
Google is changing the world. Wie wird die Welt verändert? Ich in Berlin.
Der kopiert uns. Was hast du dem erzählt, Juri?
Ohne TerraVision wäre Google Earth nicht möglich gewesen. Wir haben Recht. Und Google hat Unrecht.
We get two German hackers going up against a big American company. Wir wollten mit den Computern das Leben zum Besseren verändern. Erinnere dich. Das hat was bedeutet.
They could succeed where all the other little companies failed.
Wir haben den Blick auf die Welt für immer verändert. Nur unsere Geschichte kennt kein Mensch. Aber das werden wir jetzt ändern.
Okay, the $1 Billion Code. Let me stop the video. And I would like to change the picture because I am not letting show some important picture here. Okay. So, quite similar to the extraordinary measures, you can see the both entrepreneurs, one from the artist university, he was studying a master in art, and the second one was a hacker that in that time they had the only computer that was useful to hack the people trying to get the communists in Germany. So they combined together the different views an interdisciplinary team because TerraVision at the beginning was 10 artists and 10 information software guys working together, and they don't know how to work together. So it was very funny when at the beginning of the series, they show the integration of two different worlds. And you can do the second learn that I want to share here is that you can do the solution, or you can do the solution that gets the effect of wow effect. And you can saw in the trailer when some guy tested the TerraVision software and hardware, and that guy said wow. So after that, after they could create a software that can view the earth and can travel everywhere in 1994. So just remember the year. So they start to talk to different companies the application for that, and nobody believed the application. They said to airplane company, I don't remember, Fraunhofer. They said, okay, you can put a screen in the chair in order that the people can see all the earth and can see where is they're traveling, and they laugh in that moment. So the view that those guys had from the future was different for the age. This is also a very good skill that we need to train. At the end of the series, you can see the court or the process in the court, or the infringement that they try to show how Google infringed their patent, or how Google tried to defend of the infringement. And the name of the $1 billion code is because they show to the jury in US that if they can win, Google had to pay almost $1 billion. So I don't want to say the spoiler of the end of the movie, but please see how important is to manage your patent strategy, but not only your filing strategy, also the prosecution strategy and the litigation strategy, because the mistake was not in the filing or the technical things that they reveal in the patent. The mistake here was in the litigation strategy. So you can see the real photo, and I love this photo because in that time you can see the date here, and you can see that it's in 94, the year when they invented, as they presumably say that was the beginning of the Google Earth. So the third one, let me see the time. Okay, we are good in time. The third one is a movie that is called Histeria, 2011. The Histeria is a movie that tells the story of the inventor of the vibrator. In that time, so you can travel to 1884, when the hysteria was a mental disease, supposedly. Please travel in your mind in that era. The only women that are allowed to have sex were the women that were married. The other was not well, was not respected for the society. When a woman has bad mood, and different things that we recognize, as we said wrongly, that the girl needs sex. You can imagine if in that era past 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years without having sex or even masturbate. So some doctors practice a movement, see, with the hands, that they call peristaltic movement, something like that, for not say an organs, and they and that organs tranquilize and calm the women, as they will call that was a disease, and there is not a disease. But that guy, the number, I forgot the name of the guy, but I will see my notes. He believes that the things with that this therapeutic method will improve, because every time that they do this movement to girls, the hands starting to get pain in their hand. So they think differently on how to get a solution for satisfy more women and improve the therapeutic method. So we can see the trailer and we'll tell you more about it.
What do you know of hysteria? Nothing. But half the women in London are affected. It's a plague of our time.
I have just been offered a position by London's leading specialist in women's medicine.
Oh, no.
I must find some way to attend to these women properly.
I believe the French have quite a bit of luck using their tongue. Oh, no. I want you to meet my daughter, Emily Dalrymple, 7. I've no doubt that one day she would make a fine doctor's wife. It's a very difficult case, that case.
It must be difficult pleasuring half the women in the city.
Pleasure has nothing to do with it, I can assure you.
Well, I suppose that depends on whether you're raised at the table or on it.
Isn't she a Chinese firefighter?
According to your diagnosis, hysteria seems to cover everything from insomnia to toothache.
A new generator. My God. Now, who should try it on?
What do you call that little thing?
I was calling it the feather duster.
Think of something quick, so the girl knows what to look for.
Women will no longer be denied our rightful place.
You are a confounding woman.
And you are a good doctor, and you should remain one. Whether you seek it or not, Dr. Randall, you are destined for fame. You're going to need a bigger appointments book.
Okay, Hysteria from 2011. So the name of the doctor was Mortimer Granville. That was a young physician who had difficulty with his occupation due to constant arguments over modern medicine. He was, like, as we can say now, rebelled. And this is a very good skill for inventor entrepreneurs. Try to think different, out of the box, And when we say out of the box, is you will have a lot of arguments from the status quo, from your professor, from the different professionals that say this is not possible. Because if you have this skill, you have the vision to get some solutions, to different solutions to a problems that never had been thought before. So let me tell you about a little bit about the story. So Dr. Granville was hired for Dr. Darren Pleel, and he taught the therapeutic method. But in some point in the trailer, you saw his friend Lord Edmund St. John Smythe that had developed an electrical feather duster. In that time was when the electricity was invented and different gadget was created to use the electricity. So when Dr. Granville saw that, he had the idea to modify the gadget for use as an electrical massager. He first tested the vibrator with Dumple's maid, it's called Molly, and she had a very good result. They convinced the main doctor to use this vibrator, and the rest is a story. So I would like to show you, this is a vibrator not from the same from the Dr. Granville. This is 20 years after, in 1990, in 90s year, and you can see the particularly that you can plug in the bulb part of the electricity, and this is the thing that in that area the women can use in his body. After that, the vibrator became not a medical device, more from a toy device, and you can see all the evolution of this technology. But the idea and the invention for the beginning was astonishing. Okay, here I can give you a little bit. Let me see. I think I have some problem. Give me a moment, please. Okay, so this is a part of advertisement from LicenciArte before giving you the last part of the top two and top one. Sorry, and I would like to share with you that we invented a methodology that is called invention matrix, that it helps you to assess the readiness of your invention to the market. If you're familiar with the TRL concept, the technology readiness level concept, this is a scale that can help you to identify if your invention is in the concept stage or is it ready for launch the product to the market. But not only the technology side, as we call in the invention approach, you need to mature or evaluate the readiness level. So you need also to evaluate the commercial side or the business side. But also you can evaluate if you have the commercial side and the technology side assessed in the same scale from 1 to 9, you can get the best option to your to intellectual property strategy. So if you have, for instance, the points or the assessing for the stage of the technology and the stage of the commercial side, you can get a matrix where you can have the point for the TRL and the CRL in the current stage. Also, you can forecast where would be the best way to mature your technology. So when you identify that, you can put your goal where best suit your technology in the future, and you can mark in your matrix. So we invented this software or invention implemented by the computer in order to help you which will be your TRL and CRL, what will be the best future or forecast TRL and CRL for your technology, for your invention, and what will be the best IP strategy for your invention. If you are doing that in the auto assessment invention metrics, we will give you for free the report. But if you would like to get a meeting with us and review your assessment, try to fit some points for the methodology, and get a certified invention readiness level for your invention, we charge before $500 for the process, but for the people that is seeing this webinar, we are ready to charge you just 200 US dollars to do the invention readiness level. So please take a picture for the QR. In the LinkedIn, you can see this form that you can submit your invention, and in 5 days we will give you the free report and the option to get the review and certified invention readiness level for your invention. So the second one, the top two for these amazing films, top five films or movies from inventors or by inventors for inventors. This is not a good story, but we can learn from the mistake. And this is a documental. This is not a movie. It's called Attacking the Devil. Harold Evans, that was a reporter, UK reporter, and the last Nazi war crime. This documental tells the story of the Thalidomide, a pharmaceutical composition that is called the most tragic or most the most mistake of the medicine in the history. So I will show you first the trailer, and we can discuss some learnings from this bad story. Well, thalidomide was a medicine that was introduced from a company in Germany called Gruttenhall. And in different countries, they got a patent, they license the patents from different companies, and in UK, Australia, New Zealand, was distributed by a company that was called distillers, pharmaceutical distillers. But the headquarters, the big company was the distillers. Distillers was in the business of alcohol drinking. So they thought that after the alcohol drinking, the best solution for the people uh, were the pharmaceutical or the medicine with similar effects to the people were drunk. So thalidomide was very good at the beginning for the epilepsy people because calm down the people that suffer from this epilepsy. But the Gruttenhall company said, okay, this is not a business. We need a bigger market, and they found a very good solution for pregnant women that they suffer that in that moment was called um, morning sickness. So these nauseas at the beginning of the pregnancy, the somnolency, the morning sickness was treated with thalidomide. In that era, just the regulations company from the government just asked for the animal testing, not for human testing. And in that era, the doctors believed that the placenta covered the babies, the fetus. So no medicine are able to trespass the placenta. And that was the biggest mistake. Is more or less, it's about 2,000 people were lived with short hands and short legs, maybe one leg, maybe one hand. But the assumptions said that around 8,000 and 10,000 people or babies were die for the parents they took thalidomide. Yes, the doctors in the when the baby is born and the people and the mother saw these deformities, they say that they were from the devil. Yes, so the doctor says, if you want, we can cover this and you can get another child. And when they say cover this, they kill the babies. Please, you travel in the time at that era, and for that time was okay to kill the babies with some deformities for the society. The end of the story, and I invite you that you can see the documental, is that the people from Gruttenhall, they hire the scientists that were Nazis in the Second War, and they did this testing in humans, especially in Jewish people, in order to test their medicines. In the court in UK, this reporter and his team demonstrate that the patent that they got in for the thalidomide presumably came from the testing that they did in the Nazi war. For that reason, they say that the last Nazi war crime was create the thalidomide. However, in recent studies in 90s and in 20s, the thalidomide was very good to treat multiple melanomas that create cancer. So FDAs and different regulatory regimes gave permissions with very strict administration for not to take the pills from pregnant women or men that wants to have babies, because was also problematic. And it was a very good solution or mitigate the problems for cancer. So I would like to say at the end of this story that my psychologist told me that the knife is just a technology, and you can use the technology for doing the good or for doing the bad. So the knife is a very good tool to cut the meat, but the knife is also a very good tool to stamp somebody and kill somebody. So the problem is not the technology. The problem is the people that are behind. And in that, the learning that you can get here is how the ethical or the moral that you have to create a technology that can benefit the public health or can be bad from the public health if you are more interested in the capital or in you become rich. So it's a very good movie. So the last one is the only movie that is not based in a true story, but I would like to share here the story of the director, creator. You can see here, I will show you. Shane Carruth. Shane Carruth is that guy who created this story. Primer. Primer is a science fiction movie, independent movie, that shows a travel machine and how this guy with his friend create this machine in the garage. They are very good in engineering, and they worked in a engineering company. How they had with other friends a company that creates some components for the computers in that time, but for mistake they create a time machine, and they started to use well, I will show you first the trailer, and after that I will show you, I will discuss about the learnings.
You're talking about making a bigger one. You're talking about making a bigger one.
So Shane Carruth is, I think, a PhD mathematician and physics, and he got a theory, a real theory for travel time. Of course, was not possible, but in the movie, this is the thing for I love the movie, because you can create a fantasy where the things, as they say here, what happened if it actually works. So they create this fantasy. This is a movie that is difficult to follow, but you can see the interesting here. Shane Carruth was the director, the screenplayer, the written the story, the produced, the starring, also edited. He did the music, so he was the guy. He was his friend, and all the characters were the families or friends that they participate in the movie. So the budget was a very, very, very low budget, just $7,000, and box office was almost $1 billion. So it is so amazing how this guy with a brilliant idea, with an independent movie that was specific for a niche. So he specialized for a niche people that needs to have a higher knowledge to understand the movie, and you need to see the movie 1, 2, 3 times and see the tutorials in YouTube, because it's very difficult to follow. But how they can get a very successful movie with a very low budget, doing as they love that. So for that reason, I would like to share this movie, and I qualify as the first one, because you can see in the story how the difficult situation to create an invention, and how the invention can be used also for the good or for the bad, and the relationship between your partner, your friend, your family, because that guy became the important person for create this invention. And the last of the movie was very difficult situation that they couldn't resolve, but you need to see that. So you can learn a lot of skills for entrepreneurs and inventors in the movie. But if you see the story to create the movie was an endeavor, very difficult to create, but a very successful one in revenue. So thank you very much. So I would like to share you the last sentence from the Jim Balsillie, former research in motion, co-CEO or BlackBerry, that he stated, innovation budget without intellectual property strategy is philanthropy. If you don't protect your intellectual property, you are giving to free to the world your inventions. So thank you very much. And as our biggest singer in Latin America said, gracias totales. Thank you very much.